in the middle of the night, you started screaming, and I was
Not
like,
last night. Stop being a dick. It wasn't last night. It was 2 nights ago. Last
go-
night I was worried
you go,
that I was going to do it again. No,
wife,
screaming.
Wife.
Yeah, that you
wife.
wifely duty time, wifely duty time, wifely duty time.
And I go, it's
This
okay,
is-
it's a nightmare.
this
You're just
isn't a
dreaming,
drill.
honey. You're just
no,
dreaming.
it's not a nightmare. I never have nightmares. From time to time in my life, I get Charlie horses in my legs when I sleep. And it's the worst pain, bro. It's like it hurts so fucking much, and it's out of nowhere. Like you're in a sleep, and all of a sudden, plus I got sleep apnea, dude. Like I should be wearing one of the masks, so I don't sleep good to begin with. So when this happens, it's literally like you're in a blitzkrieg, bro. Like all of a sudden, people start shooting at you, and it's the worst pain ever. And I need my wife. That's why that's one of the things you signed up for. I'm gonna start screaming like an irrational maniac, and I need you to get up and I need you to rub it out of my leg.
I did, but I thought you were having a nightmare.
No nightmares, bro.
I was trying to wake you up from your nightmare because you were like, oh.
Yeah, no, I know. Your response to my... But this isn't the first time this has happened. So that's why you should know. It's not a drill. You know what's up. Right away, you should go to my legs and start rubbing them out. The first thing she starts doing is, wake up, wake up, wake up. I'm like, I'm already awake. Get my legs.
I did the thigh, started massaging, and you're like,
No, right away, you were like,
struggling.
wake up, wake up, wake up. I'm like, I'm looking right at you. I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm awake. It's my leg.
You were asleep.
It's my leg.
No, I thought you were talking in your sleep. So then you were struggling to say, this was the best part. It's like the pain was so strong. You were struggling to say where the pain was for me to massage it.
It hurts so much. It hurts so much.
No, but wait, you had to address in the middle of your pain that it was in your left calf.
Yeah. No, I was pointing to it, but you needed more direction apparently
It
at
was
that time.
pitch black.
And then my maniac wife, yeah, how lucky this broad is.
What?
So the next day, first of all, since our son has been born, aside from like the first month that he was born and he was home from the hospital, when he, like anytime she'd be sleeping and he could fart and she would wake up and come shooting and running after him wherever he was. Now, at night, she sleeps like the dead.
Deep.
So she don't ever have to get up if there's a problem with the little guy. That
My
I
body
do.
requires
I've done
it.
it his whole life, literally his whole life. So the night of
By
my
the
Charlie
way-
horse incident.
By the way, we had a night nurse, so shout out to the night nurse.
Yeah, but that was she was gone early. She hasn't been here in a long time, in a real long time.
We had a
So
night nurse
since that-
after the baby, after we came home from the hospital.
But since that point in time, Tommy's been responsible to go and see if the little guy needs anything through the course of the night.
Yeah, after the 3-month mark.
Yeah.
And you're basically, once the SIDS phase was over, I started to sleep really good.
I don't think I slept a wink while that was all until he cleared that. But that's besides the point. She tells me that because of my Charlie horse episode, she didn't go back to sleep. Like I went back to sleep, and then he needed something, and she had to respond to it. So she had the nerve to tell me the next morning that I'm gonna have to get that together because she's not gonna do that again. Her whole day was thrown off because she didn't get back to sleep after my Charlie horse incident.
I was miserable because the most I can do in the middle of the night is go to the bathroom, maybe if it's really pressing. And most of the time I can wait until the morning. So by the time I had to wake up, go to the crib, go to the kitchen, go back, I was up. And that
then
was
the Instagram comes out.
after 2 hours of being awake. I go on Instagram. Now we're at 4 a.m. Then I come upstairs. I look out the window. Then I go back down. Then I took like 40 grams of melatonin. Nothing helped. So yeah, you're on daddy duty because my body requires, I need sleep every night.
Listen, you're way better now. When we first met, you needed like 9 to 10 hours. Mama needed like 9 to 10 hours of rest.
Good for me.
Good for you is right. But listen, man, you got the softest skin I'll ever touch, or anyone else will ever touch for that matter. You're beautiful. You're a work of art. I mean, your feet are really fucked up. But besides that,
thank you.
So if you're telling me that you need some beauty rest, then I believe it. The proof's in the pudding.
But yesterday, even though the night was a mess, we still went pretty hard until 4 p.m. That's when I hit a wall. Anyway, okay. So Thomas,
Yeah, beautiful.
today we're going to talk about the secret that you kept from pretty much everybody but my dad and a couple friends. You're saying that I played my cards right in order to get that proposal?
I don't think you were playing any cards. That sounds like you're a chess player and you were looking to play chess so that you could get a ring, so that you could catch a man, so that you'd be, I think more of you than that. You really didn't give a fuck. You were letting me know too. But at the same point in time, like, if you want to be part of this, know that I don't need you, if that makes sense.
I can't help but think when I think about you proposing to me, I'm fascinated how two messy people, especially me, could get a proposal from a guy, because so many people date for so long and then never get there.
Yeah. The fact that you accepted me for all my faults, where I could be so upfront and honest with you and tell you everything. Like, there was no judgment ever. You know what I mean? And I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. I've done fucked up things or whatever.
I didn't judge you. I loved you.
Yes. To this day, it just made me feel, you're my lobster. You know what I mean? Like, I'm down with you, bro. Like, if you need me, I got your back. And I know it's vice versa. And I never felt like that with anybody before. And, I don't expect to ever feel like that with anybody again. You know what I mean? So I wanted to make sure that I wifed it up. I wanted to make sure that you knew that like, it's us.
So the way to your heart was making you feel 100% sure that I was someone that accepted you and had your back.
Well, that's what till the dirt means. I want that to become synonymous. When people think of what is marriage and what is it's that. I'm talking about that you accept me for me, I accept you for you, and we're a team. And it's, till the dirt. There's going to be bad days. I promise. We've had a ton. But, there's going to be fabulous days too. But, all the days we're going to be together for, the good and the bad. What she's getting at is today we were going to talk about the engagement of when I proposed to her.
Yes. And all my life, I was always, I guess you could say lustfully is the word, or like I was very starry-eyed when I would ask somebody to share their proposal story. I love me a proposal story. I want to know if the guy got down on one knee. I want to know if he got the blessings from his parents. I want to know how the ring shopping went down. I want to know if the girl had any idea.
And no offense, baby, I think it's great now that you turned into this big ham. But if we're going back into that point in time, you would act so ambivalent. Like, you didn't give a shit whether or not you had like, I'm going to be good for the rest of my, like I said, like, you were the Susan B. Anthony, who's that, Alcott, the other one? Like, you were the Gloria Steinem of not giving a fuck whether or not you had a man for the rest of your life. So you could, talk all that shit now, and I think it's beautiful. I think it's awesome, and it makes you more endearing. But at that point in time, you act like you didn't give a shit.
Well, I wouldn't show that side of myself to you because that's not game.
Yeah, it's also
like I would like to hear somebody's engagement story, but I don't think that I would show you that I wanted to get married because that's not game.
Yeah, but it wasn't like.
But it's also
you were
like
talking like that to someone else. If you heard their engagement story and you acted like perked up and like you were listening, like you cared. Like I said, it was about everybody. Like, oh, whatever. She's stupid. She needs a man. I don't. But you say it just loud enough, and like within earshot that I catch it. But then in moments of of ourself, where it's just you and I, where you be vulnerable. I could tell that, a lot of that was a wall that you put up. Let's just put it that way.
I was fronting.
Yeah.
Carrying on, never mind if I'm showing off. I was just fronting. I'm ready to bet it on unless you don't care at all. But I want you. You should stop fronting.
When I met you, I could tell that you were not sure if I was going to accept everything about you. I know that, like, if you curb appraise you and me, you hold me up and you hold you up, I'm going to look like I'm more bougie. I don't think you knew about, like, I really am, the origin of me is Falls Church, Virginia, a wonderful, beautiful part of the country, but not Beverly Hills. You know, like
it's very nice too, though. Let me put it this way. We just had this conversation with your homie, Sammy. I've met Paris Hilton. She's a really, really nice person. It don't matter where that broad is from, she's going to be nice. And it's the same thing with you. Don't matter where you're from, you are who you are. So don't sell yourself short.
well, actually, Kathy Hilton came from humble beginnings too.
Okay.
And so when you look at, I said curb appraise, and now I'm glad I said that, because curb appraisal is judging a book from the cover. And I'm sure people would look at someone from Beverly Hills and judge from the outside the way that if you say, hey, this kid from Queens and this girl from Beverly Hills, well, how could they fit? The reason why is our value system. And like, I feel like I am way more street smart than the average person. I feel like my parents would allow me to walk into the streets of Washington, D.C., and I experienced life. I traveled enough that like the things about yourself that you were worried I wasn't going to accept, I was more than comfortable with. I was like already there.
It was to the point that, no lie, I would be like, all right, I'm going to tell something else about me, and let's see whether or not this is it. You know what I mean? And it was just whatever I threw at you, it was a non-issue. It was
Right.
It was like I didn't even have to say it. You know what I mean? Like, you all right, cool, whatever. That just knocked my socks off. Like I said, it's not something that I would expect. It's not something that I'm definitely not used to. And you know, you got no brothers, you got no sisters. Your father was sick. Your mother's a tough nut, bro. You know, don't get it twisted.
Tough.
I've cracked tougher, and I cracked her. But at the same point in time, she's a tough nut, and I just didn't want you to ever have to go through the world, you know, life alone. You know what I mean? I felt like, yeah, I'm good with you. Let's go.
Let's get to the part where you're secretly going to a jewelry shop downtown, and we have to shout out Icing on the Ring.
For sure.
You got hooked up to go to this jewelry shop, and you're like, take me on that little journey.
Well, my original plan, you know, for anybody that's been listening knows that, you know, we had started the business. We weren't making a ton of money yet. You know, my original plan, I knew she was my forever and ever. Real early on.
You had
I
a
knew
business, not me and you. You're talking about yours.
Yes. So I knew that we had just gotten our approval for our device by NHTSA. So I knew we were going to start being able to put these devices in cars. We were going to start making money. I figured by the holidays of that year, I'd be able to buy a real nice ring.
People say that, you know, you're really lucky that you have this digital storybook.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? I wanted that. You know, I'm not a ham for this shit at all, but I thought that would be a real beautiful thing. Who knows how long these shows go on, but at the very least, like I said, you know, fast forwarding into the future, if we had any children, I'd have that. You know, have that moment in time. And that was, you know, the show was going to be ending earlier than the holidays of that year. Fortunately, one of the dudes that worked on the show had actually gotten a ring for his wife there. And then, you know, they're Persian or they're in that community. So Shervin knows everybody. And Shervin knew him.
Shout out Shervin.
Shout out Shervin. And
love you.
Shervin took me. You know, he was the only person I told. And I only told him because, like, well, that's not true. There's two people. I told Sammy and
also Shervin is such a vault.
Yes. Sammy too. Sammy's a vault. Shout out to Sammy as well. But I knew
Sammy is such a vault too.
Yes. I'm telling you now, I'm not a real trusting person on that type of level. I have my boys that, you know, if they needed anything in the middle of the night, bro, I'm the guy to call and vice versa.
Yeah.
I don't just open that up to anybody else. And I'm saying Shervin's a vault and so is Sammy because I know firsthand because they knew. Once it was like established, Vic from Icing on the Ring, shout out again to Vic.
By the way, it's a downtown family owned and operated business of like 3 generations.
But once that was mentioned amongst each other, you know, it was agreed that was the place to go to. And they gave me a great deal. I told them the situation. I told them, you know, down the road, I wanted to come back for, you know, a better one. But this is what I wanted now, you know. And
I think we kept the setting.
Yeah.
I think it's the same exact original setting. And then the only thing we did was after you gave it to me, you made the rock a little bit bigger.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
am I jumping ahead?
You are jumping ahead.
Okay.
So
Well,
By
because you're
happenstance-
giving the backstory of that as if you're basically talking about a part of the story that's not going to make sense until you get to that part.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't even know if we're ever going to get to that part. I'm just giving the setup of why it was done and why everything was done at the time frame that it was. Because I still get insulted, man, when people, unless one of them, because they would have had to have broken ranks and told you, because I know who I told. I know who
Nobody
knew.
told me.
But there's still to this day people out there that watch the episode and say that you knew. And I got to tell you, when I got down on one knee, if you look and there's a part there, it looks like you're waiting for me to ask. It looks like
were
you're
crying.
waiting for that to come. Before I got down on one knee, I should say. When you go down on one knee, you know what's coming next. But while I'm talking to you, there's a part on Shaz that you give a look. I've seen it. Like, I've seen it where it looks like you're waiting for me to ask you. So I don't know. You've always told me no.
The reason is because you interrupted me.
Okay.
And-
which I love to do, as you know.
No, I mean that I was in the middle of this whole thing. So if you guys haven't seen this episode of Shahs of Sunset, which I really think you probably all have, but in case, there's an episode where I invite everyone to Hollywood Forever Cemetery in LA, and I asked everyone to bring something about themselves that they wanted to bury and move past. So I brought 3 things about my life that I wanted to do away with.
Then everybody else came up, did the same thing.
Yes.
And then when it was my turn to go up, I didn't want to throw anything away. I wanted to keep you forever.
You had a hesitation about you that you didn't have anything in your hand. You were very nervous.
I was.
Your
Let me tell
behavior-
you right now, I do not get nervous, dude. Trust me, I've been in the jackpot before. There are people that know me that know I've been in the jackpot.
What's
And
jackpot?
Just when, you've been in a situation. Let's just call it that, a situation. I'm level heeled, bro. I'm good. I'm good in a tight situation. I'm good in a jam. I have never been so nervous in my life.
If anybody thinks that I knew, or if you thought that because of that I knew, it was actually your nervousness that I was staring and watching. It was like I was standing there. I didn't have anything but look at you to do. You didn't get right. It's not like you walked up and like slammed onto your knees. You had a whole thing. So I was like basically like, what's happening?
Let's just say we
There's
started.
always a moment when a girl is getting proposed to where there's going to be a like, what is happening here?
Let's just say we started at 100 minutes, right? At the beginning of the day. I don't know, whatever it was, whatever those minutes are. And in the first, it was great. And you were dressed like you were going to get married. That was the other thing. You had this head dressed like it looked like you looked beautiful. So like,
The reason I wore white is because I was doing a rebirth. Anytime someone does a rebirth, they're supposed to be ethereal and wear white. And it's supposed to be a thing where if you look at me in the beginning of the show or even the most recent episode or season of the show, I'm extra. I don't just do something basic, okay? I wanted to look like an angel that was coming back to life.
yeah, you had this flower headdress thing they made up to like, you look beautiful,
And
but
my
you look
friend
like you were
Denise
going to
made
get
that.
married.
And I was talking to my friends about this day, and what I was going to wear was this House of CB bodycon dress, and it was so pretty. And she was like, oh my God, you need a thing. And she made that. She was in the flowers. She made that for me.
But if we're on that, again, that 100-minute scale for round numbers, as the minutes are ticking by, it was all beautiful up to like 75 minutes. Or let's call it even 50 minutes. From 50 minutes forward, every minute that went by was more nerves, dude. And then I remember you yelling at the choir that was there singing the songs. And it was just
Lord.
like, I'm like, yo, man, I just wanted to get it done, dude. I wanted to get it over with. Because like it's not a comfortable feeling. That's one of the most uncomfortable I ever felt. I was a ball of fucking.
I roll up in
Yeah, it was terrifying.
I roll up in a white hearse.
No,
It was some kind of old white car.
If you say so. Like I said, part of that was a blur. I had a flask on me. I was fucking.
You were trash.
Not only did I have a flask on me, but I refilled that flask probably 3 or 4 times through the course of that
With a
day.
bottle that was in
our
our car
because
or
that was the
something?
other part of it. Like.
We came by Uber.
Like it was happening, dude. A few people knew it was coming, with the ring. And then I told a couple of my real close friends from back home, Like it was happening.
Did you think you're nervous because you weren't sure if I was going to say yes or just
100%. Again, this is the same
How would I
girl.
have said no?
This is the same woman that I've heard numerous occasions be like, well, fuck that. I don't need an old man. You know what I mean? And it's her friends. It's her Persian friends that, you know, for some reason, they always want to look better amongst each other. So, like, to make someone else look worse so they look better, you know? And man, I didn't know, dude. I honestly didn't know. That's why to watch it back and see you, because it looks like you're ready for me to ask you.
I'm sure you were too nervous to notice that.
In the moment, I did nothing. But after the fact, when people were like, oh, she definitely knew. And then I see it, it's like I could see where they would think that.
And now that I'm explaining it, can you see that I didn't have anything else to do but to stare at you because you came up to me in a very raw way?
I still don't 100%
What
believe
should
you.
I have done? A cartwheel? What
don't
should
know. I just
should I
don't-
have slapped you in the face and be like, "Her, get on with it"? Like, what could I have?
I
What
just
else
still
could I
don't
have
100%
done?
believe you. You Persians, you stick together. So I really don't know if one of them didn't say nothing. I
you wearing
I
tube
really
socks?
don't know.
Were you wearing like white tube socks
No,
or
man.
black tube socks?
Yeah, not black Nike socks, Jordan socks.
So it's funny because if I was gonna ever like imagine how I would get
Jordan
proposed
would get
to,
nervous, so I wear Jordan socks.
I never thought I would get proposed to in Jordan socks with like dress shoes. Is that what you had?
But you thought you'd get proposed to in a cemetery?
I mean, that's pretty cool. And now we're called Till the Dirt. That's pretty amazing.
It's ironic.
Apropos.
Apropos is right.
And then what happened was you started to become emotional.
Yeah. Again, I was so drunk too. Not to,
I
love
knew
you, babe.
because you
Not
turned
to-
red.
And I'm not trying to diminish the moment or take, you know what I mean?
No,
I'm
no,
not-
it's
I'm not-
okay.
I hope we'll get to an age where the kid's old enough I could tell him, yeah, bro, I was shit faced, but I was wasted.
What happens is that when you are nervous in life, you'll lean into the bottle. That's something you do.
Yeah.
If you're nervous about something,
Yeah.
you're going to go ahead and put a Band-Aid of a bottle.
Yeah, man.
The Irishman inside of you, you turn beet red. You just become rosacea from head to toe. And your bald ass head is bright pink and
Look,
red.
I have a beautiful, lush, full head of hair, babe. These people out
So,
there don't know.
I
have a
was-
beautiful, full head of hair. It's the camera that makes me look bald.
Do you know what's going through my head at this point?
No.
As I see you start to become emotional, I start to see, wow, he's really red. Oh, I know when he's red, he's a little turned up. I'm like, but the words that are coming out of his mouth are really sweet. And then they're the giveaway words. The giveaway words when I was like,
Lifetime, shit like that. Yeah.
oh, he's what? And I literally put my hand over my mouth. Now I know why women, when they get proposed to or when they win a pageant, the shock is like when you're like, oh my God, and your hands are covering your mouth, which I did. And I was calm. I was sweet. I was counteracting your energy of like nervousness. And I was like being very, very sweet to you because you were like crying.
Yeah, no, but it was kind of like, all right, get to the proposal. That's like when I watch it
I
now.
don't-
That's the reaction that I get.
No, because you said, I don't want to, I'm not here to bury anything.
Yeah, I don't want to think about my past. I want to think about my future.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big part. You're it. And then your mother said she needed a magnifying glass to see my ring.
Does anybody have a telescope? Does anybody have a stethoscope?
Yeah.
A magnifying glass? So rude.
She's not Darth Vader for nothing.
So-
Baddest bitch in the galaxy.
You know, my favorite part of that episode is
The when we were eating before
criticizing,
we left, that charcuterie
telling the
dish.
choir that I want
Yeah,
a
you ripped in the yes. No, this
a
what was it again?
non-lyrical,
Yeah,
less soprano, more alto.
yes.
No words. I
They were
hate.
like a volunteer choir. I think some of them would do a community service. One of them might
I
have just
took the
been
guys-
gotten out of prison.
I took the
She's
guy-
like, yeah, no, I need less. Oh, I need more.
They're wearing. They're wearing choir gowns. They're wearing choir gowns. One of them had a shirt sticking out of the top of it. I physically ripped it off for his neck.
That's right, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there thinking, I can't wait to sign up to
And
for
then
this
my
for the
mom
rest
kept
of my life.
and then my mom kept going, "Where's Jessica? Where's Jessica?" And Mike, being as private as he is, poor guy, he was like, "Vida, I don't care if we're in a grave. Do you want me to put you in that? Oh, I heard that, Mike. I heard that. You said you want to put me in there?
But so how was...
And then you had to
Now,
walk
let me ask
away.
you this. When you came back, did you
With
start
Mike.
telling people right away?
I think as soon as we got in the Uber, because we took an Uber right
Yeah.
from there, and then we went and we celebrated the Sofitel
Mm-hmm.
with the champagne toast.
Yeah.
And so I put it on Instagram, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we put it on. So I
But
remember
then
getting
you pissed off
from the-
Terry and Jessica.
Yeah. Jessica, the aforementioned Jessica that caused all our beef in the previous episode. She got mad because she didn't get a heads up that was going down.
I think she's right. I just wanted to say, in Jessica's defense, when you're really close with somebody, you should tell them before you propose.
Yeah, she thought that she'd have a little bit more involvement. You know what I mean? She'd have a little bit more of an input, or just a heads up that it was coming. So she
It's kinda-
yelled at me. But now you're on her side.
Always.
The other time, the other way, when I want to bring a fucking stupid song about it, I'm a jerk off, and you
Well,
walk out.
if you want to talk about Jessica, you could even share the story about the first time that you told her that you met me and she and I were friends. But we could talk about that another time too.
Yeah, no. Well, that's nothing
That's
extraordinary. It's just I had told her for a while that I met this girl, blah blah blah. We like each other, this, that, the other. And then once you came clean to me that you were who you were, she's her target audience. Jessica. It's like Jessica loves all Bravo, loves all those shows. The second I told her who I'm like, yeah, she's on blah, blah. She was like, oh my God. She was like, you two are perfect for each other.
Yes.
And I just want to tell you, her mother is very, very, very mean.
Yes.
You could handle it. And
Yes, that's
from that
amazing.
point on, these two have been fucking peas and carrots.
I love that.
I don't like introducing my wife to friends of mine because then she circumvents them and all of a sudden she makes them all friends. And then I don't feel like, I feel like the lesser in the friend group. She starts taking their, like I get on a phone call, she'll come take my fucking phone and start talking with them. It's weird. No one else sees it. I see it. No one else sees it. I see it.
I
Yeah.
think it's weird not to be interested in your friends and your family.
I don't go taking her phone when she's on the fucking phone with one of her friends. I don't like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, it's cool. But I digress. Most of my friends obviously were very happy for me. Everybody was happy. But the only blowback I got was from her because I hadn't told her. Well, I got it from a few people actually that thought that they would be in the loop prior to hearing it because they came out publicly too. Because once you put it on your social, the next day it was out there. And
Oh yeah, I think like Us Magazine had it.
yeah. And so by the time, I woke up the next morning, there was people that were mad at me for not letting them know that
It's
that was
never a
happening.
good idea for your closest friends in the world to hear about something in a gossip magazine. And what about my dad? You forgot to tell that part because I remember when you were in the midst of proposing, I thought, shoot, I wish my dad was here.
Yeah, that was another part where I was real nervous. It came together real quick. Once I said that I would do it, everything was kind of, horseshoed into it. You know what I mean? And your father's the most important person in your life. There was no way I was going to go through any of this without getting his approval first. So I wanted to go, sit down with him and ask for his permission. The show wanted to capture that. I wouldn't let him do that. I just felt that was a real private moment. That was something between he and I wanted him to know that. So I went to his home to his retirement home and, I took him out and, I asked and he was, not only was he, did he approve, he was very, very, very happy to know that she'd have someone to be with her. And getting the approval from that guy, is it's one of my best accomplishments as a man. I'll tell you that. So, once I got his,
then I went to the hospital.
he's another vault because he didn't say shit. I said, I asked him. I don't remember the days of the week, but let's just say it was a Tuesday that I asked him. We saw him again on Thursday together, you and I, before the proposal even happened. We saw him right away after that. And he made no mention that, I came there, made no mention that question happened. Like I said, vault.
Once we were engaged,
But
when we went to see my dad the next day, we were alone for a while and he's like, do you love this man? And I was like, yes, Daddy, I do. I love this guy. And he was like, okay, that's all I need to know. So we had a moment that you weren't there for.
But it still wasn't a bean spill. It's just a question, you know? And
It was after I was engaged.
because
She was
I
like,
could tell from my moments of dealing with him that he knew for most of his life, you know, or all of your life with him, he kind of was trying to let you know that you don't need a man. I'm here for you. I got you. And he knew he wasn't going to be there anymore for you. And, you know, he knew that he kind of like told you one thing, and now he was worried that you weren't going to be by yourself. So he was happy that at the finish line, someone came in to tell him that, you know, I got it from here, bud. You know, you did your job and I got you from here. And he was real happy about that.
okay, now's our favorite part of the show where like we go through our questions, right?
Yeah, but you didn't ask anybody any questions. So now.
But wait a minute. I wanted to say it's our favorite part of the show, but also like everybody loves this part.
They do. The response to it's been great, but you're responsible for the social media question to ask them pertaining to the episode, and
My
you never
bad, don't
did.
you have questions?
Well, yeah, I have someone that sent me a bunch of questions, but it has nothing to do with what we just talked about. So we're gonna go off the rails a little bit here, but
Do it, babe.
And I guess we're just gonna.
Do it.
I guess.
Go crazy.
I guess then we're gonna just
Go nuts.
We're just gonna have to answer all her questions because we
Off,
don't have any
go
other
off,
ones.
girl.
So you're in the spotlight here today, Deb579. I'm just giving you a heads up. We're gonna answer a few of your questions right now.
Shout out
but
to
you're only
Deb.
getting one fucking shirt, okay?
Shout out to Deb579.
Deb579's first question is: if a movie is to be made about Tommy and MJ's life, who plays Tommy? Who plays MJ?
Who looks like me?
You think it's about looks?
Yes.
So that
It has to be a slightly younger.
Well, I mean, whoever would have to be extremely buff to play me, and they would have to have a beautiful.
Did you say buff or bald?
No, a long shimmering mane, a beautiful lush, full head of hair, and extremely buff. And I think maybe, quite possibly, they could.
I think
get
that
into,
Eva Mendes should play me.
That wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad. She's a good actress too. I've
She
seen.
can gain a little weight for the part.
Salma Hayek would be good for you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah,
But
Salma
you know
Hayek would be
what?
good for you as well.
yeah.
She's got a great set of cans like you, and she got some caboose.
Okay, so Salma Hayek. Okay, I love that for me. And then who's playing your part? George Clooney,
I mean, if he's lucky,
Chris O'Donnell.
if they're lucky.
Who-
I did get stopped on the street that time. Remember, we were walking.
Yes.
Oh no, you weren't with me. I was a block.
No,
with
but you told me.
Yeah, I was walking back
To
to
meet
her
me at El
house,
Compadre.
and one of those vans that drive around to like Star Homes. Someone said, "There goes Chris O'Donnell," and the whole everybody in the van started waving, and we were all so excited. And I was like, no,
But
I'm
you know,
just a
we
fat
might
version
need
of him.
somebody. We might need someone that's been working more recently than him.
Yeah,
Who is the modern day Chris O'Donnell?
I don't know, man. Who's the biggest star in Hollywood? Who can
Brad Pitt?
I think Schwarzenegger would do me good.
Oh,
I think
gosh.
I think he'd be all right.
You know he's older now, right?
yeah,
I
I'm
think
aware.
you're like 30 years younger than him.
The younger son would be good. The one he had with the maid. The one he
Fuck
banged the
yes.
maid with.
Seriously?
Yeah, he nailed me.
No, I'm not.
What'd you say? You called me yesterday. You told me that
Affairs.
Layla banged the pool guy. What was that about?
Products of affairs. So Tommy gets home yesterday, and Layla's like, "Damn, your pool guy's hot."
Yeah.
And I go, "My cousin."
Layla's
said that.
no stranger to the pickle, by the way. Layla, I love
Is the
Layla. to
president
death.
of the
She's
Pickle
best.
Chaser Club?
Yeah, she's the best. But she makes no bones or secrets if she likes someone.
Are we? Oh, speaking of Pickle Chaser, our merch is coming out.
Yes, it
Our
is.
merch is dropping.
Yeah, man. So if you go to Till the Dirt podcast, that's TILL thedirtpodcast.com, and you sign up now, you'll get notified when the merch becomes available, which should be
The
in the next
nerch?
couple. The nerch. You'll get notified
So then
when the merch becomes available. You'll also get a discount code too. So
then I tell
all that good stuff.
So then I tell Layla, guess what you don't know about the pool guy? He is a legit Italian speaking guy. Like he has an Italian accent. He is Italian. He doesn't speak English as well as he speaks Italian. That Italian.
That was enough for her to want to see his cannoli.
She was
I
like,
promise.
really?
I promise. That was enough
And
for
he
her to
has
be like, what does this
tattoos.
cannoli look like, huh?
We should follow him next time.
Yeah.
See where he goes after he leaves
definitely.
our house. See if he goes to like a little Italy out here
Yeah,
in the
no, I'm
suburbs.
sure he doesn't go to Cleanwell Pools. He probably goes to the Narnia of Italy pool guys. Yeah, totally. All right, next question.
Oh, okay.
Who are your current This lady loves the celebrities. Deb,
Okay.
Debbie, come on. Who are your current celebrity crushes?
Okay, Jason Bateman, not in a sexual way.
Okay.
I love Jason Bateman.
You do love Jason Bateman. You would
he's my celebrity
yeah,
everything.
You'd watch him take out the garbage.
I would watch him take out the garbage.
You do love some Jason Bateman.
But who do I want to bang? Celebrity crush, Debbie? I'm down to venture down. That's got to be the guy that Lisa Bonet is dating.
Lenny Kravitz? No,
Yeah.
the Jason Momoa, the Aquaman.
Square.
Yeah, he looks a lot like he looks something like me. I could see it. I could definitely see it.
Well, we already
I'm not
know.
even going to get jealous because he looks, so much like me that I get it. I get it.
Okay,
I get
well,
it.
we all know
I
that
get
you
it. If you put
fantasize-
like one of those tridents in my hand, like he walks around like with that fish fucking guy, the Aquaman.
You should go as him
I would
for
be like,
Halloween.
yeah, man. Yeah, no, if I do, the problem is if I went like him on Halloween, everybody would be like, there goes
Throwing
Jason
their pussy
Momoa.
at you.
Yeah, they're gonna chase me down the block. They're gonna be like, how come Jason Momoa is, dressed in full Aquaman garb and trick or treating in Woodland Hills?
So
they're gonna chase me down the
I'll
block.
go as Lisa Bonet.
There you go. But okay, so
I
now,
know
yeah.
I know you want to have sex with Salma Hayek, and
that would be mine. Yeah, done deal.
Do you actually think about her instead of me when we have sex?
No, but I will say that I've met her and
She's very pretty in
I
person.
worked in a
I know.
place where they were
oh
doing
God,
the
the story.
They were, yeah, I'm going to say the
He
story.
has to
I'm
tell
gonna
us
say it.
how bad,
I'm gonna
how
say the
much
story.
more pretty
I'm
she
gonna
looked.
say the story.
And how much prettier she was than the other girl that she did the movie with.
No. So yeah, it was that Vicky Cristina Barcelona. It was the premiere of it. So they were all there. Woody
Yeah,
Allen.
she barely had
Sung
any
Yi,
makeup on.
The Scarlett Johansson. They were all there, dude. Penelope Cruz.
And
I
how
think she
much
was in-
prettier than
no,
Penelope?
I'm sorry, Selma. Yes, Penelope Cruz was in the movie, and Selma Hayek is her best friend. So she was there just like for support. And I'm sorry, man. Scarlett Johansson was, she looked like the hottest girl in your high school. You know what I mean? Penelope Cruz is great too. But like Selma Hayek, like the way it was, like the crowd parted in front of me. It was like Moses in the Red Sea. And the next thing I know, I was just standing in front of her. I was without speech. I was speechless. And anybody knows me knows I always got something to say. And I couldn't say anything. I was, and she gave me a look that said that's not the first time today that someone has seen me and not been able to speak. Like she was used to it. And she was so sweet and she was so nice. Like it was like, yeah, no, I get it. It's cool. You're dribbling and you're drooling and I'm used to it. So yeah, it would be Salma Hayek for me and Mamula for you. We got that.
There
all
was
right?
a time that I wouldn't be able to handle. You
Oh no, you would have
talking
freaked
about
out.
Another woman.
You would
that
have
way.
freaked out if I just talked like that. When we met, if I just talked like that, wow, bro. Not only would there have been a real brouhaha, but you might have been like, all right, on Google Maps that night trying to figure out where Salma Hayek lived and, how you're going to go squash the beef.
But actually, I think that if you were to talk about another woman like that, other than Salma Hayek, I would probably not be okay.
Yeah, no, you definitely wouldn't. You definitely wouldn't.
But I don't think you feel that way about other women.
No, but I also know that your reaction isn't great either. So I'm not venturing down that road.
Oh, so
Now-
there are other women, and you just won't tell
No,
me.
not at all. I'm just saying, like, it makes more sense to not say anything than to fucking open that can of worms. I've been down that road with you, and it's not, it's
So
not.
that's right. I've trained you well.
Yeah, it's not going to work out well. All right, Deb, thanks for sending the questions in. As I said, you're only getting one fucking T-shirt, but I'll shoot you up and I'll ask you I'll get your address
Shoot
from you.
you up with heroin?
I'm going to hit you up. Sorry.
Shoot me a text.
I'm gonna shoot you
A message.
a DM for your address, and I'll get a T-shirt out for you. Thank you for participating in the
Football.
show.
Football.
Anybody else? Yes, if we answer your questions, you'll get a shirt.
Okay, this was super fun. In the future, you guys feel free to shoot us a DM on Twitter, on Gram, Facebook, anywhere you find us and follow us. Send us a message. Ask us a question. We mention your question. We send you a t-shirt. Our merch is dropping soon. Please sign up for our mailing list and that way you can get more information.
You'll get notified when the merch is coming available.
There we go.
You'll also get a discount code so you can get a break on the cost.
Yay. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
I am too.
I'm so excited.
I just can't hide it.
Also, like, I will say one more thing, and don't expect me to say this twice. I'm falling more in love with you,
I'm for you every day, every second of every day, babe.
You gotta
I
have
fall
eye
deeper
contact.
and deeper in love.
Tom.
Yeah.
Falling more in love with you.
Yeah, me too. I'm falling in you.
But I mean it.
Yeah, so do I. I mean it more than you. Believe
Really?
me. Yeah.
It's a contest.
It's been proven.
It's a love contest.
It's been proven. And
I love
I'm
you more.
dominating. I am dominating. Like you and I and Sheree. That's another thing. Some of the people out there that go into these comments talk about like, I'd love to play charades with you guys. Listen, no, you wouldn't. You know, it sounds great in theory, but we will fucking
Destroy you.
dominate you. Like we will kick
Send you
your ass.
home crying.
And not just that.
Couples
it's psychological warfare at that point too. Like we're not like you like us now. We're gonna be so arrogant and we're gonna be so mean about it. Like you, if you remember to the night that's in question,
Send you home crying.
That's one of the reasons Sammy loves me so much is because like he was kind of checked out during charades. He was there, but he was more like fly on the wall, just watching and seeing us with the other couples. And we were rubbing it in their faces. We were sticking our thumbs in their eye. Like, you don't want to play charades with us, bro. You don't want to.
And the couples that went home lost and fought over it.
Yeah. Because
they lost so
and it
bad.
was partly us because of us. Not just were we getting the answers instantaneously, it looked like we were cheating, but we were also making fun. Like, babe, you believe these guys? They've been married for like 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, we were laughing at them while we kicked their ass. So if you're out there and you think it'd be still fun to play with them, no, because we'll dominate you, and we're also going to make fun of you the whole time we beat on you.
All right, well, I can't wait to see you next week.
Well, you're going to see me every day.
Okay. All right, guys, we will see you same time next week. Thanks for listening. We love you. And don't forget, if you ever want to book us on Cameo, go to the app and book us a Cameo.
Five's up, babe.
Love you. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Till the Dirt with Tommy and MJ. We're so happy you're coming on this journey with us. It would mean so much to us if you would rate our show, give us 5 stars, leave a nice comment, and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with all our new episodes. You could also follow us on all platforms at Till the Dirt with Tommy and MJ. See you next week.